Hello movie lovers, Bob for Bob's Movie Review here, and today I'm bringing you my review of the Godfather Trilogy on 4K. Both of these sets were sent to me by Paramount. I did post unboxings of both of these, and you guys can check those out by searching for The Godfather on my channel. I also included affiliates to purchase these in the description. Both very unique sets. This is the standard version. It's a very nice set though, and this is the collector's edition. You know, I always love when studios do stuff like this because it's above and beyond, and we don't get that many great things for physical media anymore, and it's nice to see these. With that said, it is kind of big and bulky, and I don't even know where I'm going to store this thing. But let's get into the reviews of the actual movies. I know this is supposed to be like a classic set, but I'm not the biggest fan of super long movies, and these movies are super long. So what I'm going to do is, I did already review The Godfather. I'm going to throw up my review of that, and then I will be reviewing 2 and 3. The Godfather, first time watch for me on that one, and this one is about the mafia. Why do we get so obsessed with like mafia movies, and people love mafia and gangster movies? Is it the power and the respect and they wish they had? You know, I don't know, but people seem to love them. So in this one, it's similar to a lot of kind of mafia movies where they're running their crime organization, and then something happens and they go to war with the other crime organizations, and you know, they lose a lot of people along the way, and then they make a truce. And you know, it's definitely a fun movie though. I definitely like the characters and the story. A bit long for my liking, and I didn't feel like, to me, it's the movie everybody makes it out to be. I did definitely enjoy it. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5, but to me, I don't feel like it's this amazing movie like people think it is. But I'm not that big into mafia movies either. The Godfather Part Two. Now let's just start with the quality. At the beginning, it starts out in Italy, and it looks pretty bad. Like, the characters looked all right, but everything else just looked really bad, and I was like, wow, is this how the movie's gonna look? Luckily, once they get past that initial part in Italy, the picture quality improves immensely. Now, this is a darker palette on this movie, and so I thought the colors looked pretty good. I mean, I would have liked them to be a little more vibrant, to be honest, but I think it is because it is a little darker. A lot of the movie takes place either kind of like in dark rooms or shaded areas, and so maybe that's kind of why we don't see the brighter colors. But to me, I felt like the colors in some places should have been a little brighter. The characters all look great, highly detailed, and most of the backgrounds looked really good. There's some that are kind of blurry, and you know, and whatnot, but I thought overall the 4K quality looked really good. I mean, I don't think it's going to blow you away, but I think it looked really good to me. Now, the movie, 3.5 hours long, super long to try to sit through. And basically, it's almost like two stories going on at the same time. We have the Godfather, or Vito Corleone's, kind of his story from his childhood, and we find out that his whole family is killed, and he's put on a boat and sent to the U.S. to kind of protect him because the Don... Ciccio, I think it was going to kill him because he said at one point he'd come back for revenge. And so he comes to America, and it kind of shows his rise to power and how he kind of works the system or whatever, you know, and he kind of rises to power, nowhere near to the point of the first movie, but just kind of maybe his late teenage years to his early adulthood. And at the same time, we're also getting this story about Michael Corleone and how he's running the family. And, you know, of course, on these movies, these guys always have so many problems with other people. That's what I never understand about the mafia. Like, you're probably going to get killed, like, if you're in the mafia. It's just like, it's what always happens in the movies. So, you know, we see him kind of interacting with these other people, and people not trusting each other and calling out hits on each other, and everybody just trying to survive, and people around you dying like crazy. And at the same time, his family life and his interactions with his brother and sister and his wife and his children, and how his life kind of, in some ways, kind of falls apart, and how he has to kind of clean up all the loose ends. And it just kind of goes forever. Like, I don't know, there's so many scenes in this movie, to me, that it's just like people sitting around eating or at a party, and it is not that exciting. Like, I'm not saying there aren't parts of this movie that are exciting or interesting, but there's so many long, drawn-out parts that just, I don't know, for me, don't do anything. And so I think the movie's all right. Definitely not as good as the first one, but it just wasn't one that I got super into. I gave it a 3 out of 5. You know, I think it's definitely an enjoyable movie. Looks really good on 4K, but just not something that I would want to watch over and over. So as part of my review, I decided to watch The Godfather Coda opposed to the theatrical cut or the 1991 cut, because this is the one they're kind of pushing. This is the one they include as the third movie, while the other 2 cuts are listed as bonuses. So I thought this would be the right one to watch for this review. I've never seen the third Godfather, so I didn't really have any opinions on it before I went into this. As far as my understanding is, this has a different beginning and end, and some differences throughout the movie. Of course, since I've never seen it, I can't really comment on what those differences are. But in this one, it has Michael Corleone as he's gotten older, and he's, you know, kind of up there now, and he's finally trying to go straight, trying to become legit, and he has to do kind of these shady dealings with the Vatican to buy this business, and then he'll be legit, and he can be out of the mafia life, and he can just live off his business dealings, I guess, and support his family that way. Now his nephew ends up coming back to town and falls in love with his daughter, and I was kind of confused because I was like, well, they keep saying they're cousins, but maybe it's like they're like mafia cousins or something. They're not actual cousins, and they start making out, and then later Michael says, "Your first cousins?" And I was like, what the heck? What kind of thing is this? They're having first cousins falling in love. It was kind of strange. Michael's oldest son, Anthony, he ends up becoming like a singer, and and his nephew who comes back ends up kind of pulling him back into the mafia life right as he's just getting out, and they have to basically go to war with a bunch of people. Same thing they do in all these mafia movies. It kind of makes me wonder, like, can there be an Italian gathering without a lot of people being killed? Not in the mafia movies, at least. It never happens. But so the ending of this really confused me, especially with the name of the title. I'm definitely gonna have to go back at some point and look to see what the original ending was. Seemed like a strange way to end it to me, a sad ending. I did like the story. I think I probably liked it more than the second one, and I know a lot of people say like the third one's the worst. I don't know. I kind of liked it. Like, again, it was too long. All these movies to me are longer than I would like them to be. I feel like they have just a lot of stuff stuffed in them that doesn't really need to be there, that doesn't add to the movie, and really makes the runtime a lot longer. For me personally, I mean, some people might like it, but so I thought this movie was okay. I thought the 4K quality probably was the best on this one. Being the newest, I feel like the quality just looked the best on this. Clearest picture, best coloring. It looked pretty good on all of them, but I would say this one definitely was noticeably better visually. And so I enjoyed the movie, other than the fact that it did get pretty slow for me at some points. So I give this one a 3 out of 5. So those are my thoughts on the collection as far as the movies and the quality of the 4K. I did watch all these in Dolby Vision. I'm not necessarily the hugest fan of mafia movies, so that could have definitely swayed my opinion some. People who are really into the gangster movies, the gangster lifestyle, you might enjoy it more than I did, of course. I mean, a lot of people think these are classics. They're really highly rated movies. I definitely think they're better than average, but to me, I don't really feel like these are movies I'd like to watch a lot of times. Maybe not even twice. You know, it's not my kind of movie, and everybody has their own taste, so I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you haven't already, subscribe for more videos, check the videos, and I'll see you guys next time.